What is going on, YouTube? Making a video on my Fightlite MCR. I'm going to be doing a quick one, hopefully, talking about two things that I was not aware of, that I am aware of now that I own it, but something that you should be aware of if you're looking at possibly buying the Fightlite MCR upper. Just a little bit of quirks. They're not really issues in a sense of, I guess, super big issues, but just something to keep in mind when you're buying parts or optics and all that. And what I'm going to be talking about is optic selection and stock selection. Let's get into it. So the charging handle is a very close interface to the stock. Let me lock it open and show you what I mean. So notice how there's a detent right there. You see it? That detent is riding extremely close to the stock. And this one happens to be the CTR. So this is basically a very slim, standard profile stock. This inhibits you. What I'm trying to say is you cannot run a enhanced cheek pad. If you try to run a B5 SOT mod, if you try to run any stock that has a larger cheek surface, you will not be able to charge the weapon. Now, technically, if you open the stock all the way, and then you are free to use a charging handle. In this case, you also, because I wanted to run a cheek riser on my MacBook CTR, I'll snap down the first two. So it's snapped down for all intents and purposes, it's installed, and it's gonna be the same issue. So I can't charge the weapon because it's impeding on the raised cheek surface of the stock. If I open it all the way, now I can run the charging handle, but keep that in mind. You know, I saw people run large stocks on the MCRs when I watch YouTube videos, and when I've done a lot of research before buying it. You know, this is a $7,000 upper. I've done a lot of research before I did so, and that's not really something I was aware of with stock selection. You basically have to make a compromise of having a slim stock or having to keep the stock all the way open anytime you want to charge the weapon. For me, I chose having a slim stock just so I can use it when I want. But I wanted to run this cheek, I want to run this cheek comb so I can more comfortably use optics and stuff. But just a compromise I had to take away was taking away the part, because this is a super close interface. And you can actually see what material, just from me doing that a little bit, you can see what material is coming off just from that little bit of me charging it. So very close fit, and something to be aware of. Next, let's talk about optic. That's quirk number one, by the way. The second thing we're going to be talking about is an optic. This is the Aimpoint Pro, the patrol rifle optic. I will mount it as far back as I can while also having my iron sight mounted. So I'm not going to torque it down. We're just having it mounted for the demo in the video. I wanted a red dot for this system. That's just something I wanted. And this is a full size red dot optic. The same size as a Aimpoint Comp 4. I do have one. I did try it on. And it's the same size in terms of front to back. The issue we get with is when you try to open the top cover. Do you see the issue? The red dot is hitting the rail system. So it's not all the way locked open. So the dust cover or the feed tray can go forward about another 15 degrees. So it's not fully locked open. So if I do anything, if I bump it, if I just do a quick bump, if I'm trying to actually load this at a range or actually trying to use this, then this is not locked open at all. It's far from ideal. And this is as far back as I can on the rail system. Technically, I could remove my iron sight and then move this back, and then it would most likely clear. But I want to run an iron sight. I want to run a red dot. I wanted to run a full-size optic too, but you most likely will have to run a miniature red dot like an Aimpoint Micro or a similar footprint, because the full-size tubular optics are going to be too big. And this extends for anything. If you try to run an ACOG, if you try to run a LPVO, anything that's even bigger, then you are going to be even less. Like, could you technically load it like this? You technically could, but it's going to be far from ideal. And it's something you should consider when you have go for optic selection, that you cannot run a very large optic front to back unless you move your rear iron sight. To me, I want to keep this on, so I'm going to have to sell this optic and figure out another option. And let me show you something else. So before I realized it was actually impacting in terms of the front of the optic, I've actually dinged up the rail system. You can see right here, I've dinged up the rail of where this was impacting. You can see it. What a shame, you know. I want to run a full-size optic and I can't. I'm gonna have to sell it and figure out another option. This is not something I was aware of. The stock, the optic, and something you should keep in mind if you are buying the Fightlite MCR. Those are two big things. I may do another follow-up video. I've had this for about a year now, so I may do a an ownership review of the gun. So if you like what I'm doing, just follow. So subscribe and like and comment. And I may do a future video talking about my Fightlite MCR and just the way I like it so far. And I guess also the way I have it set up more if you're interested in that. So thanks for watching. Just wanted to share the quirks I've had with my MCR that I was not aware of that when I bought it.